Muscle hypertrophy syndrome. Now, muscle hypertrophy syndrome is a condition that gives you super strength and increased muscle mass like the Hulk and Superman. Well, that's a little exaggerated, but the syndrome makes your muscles grow twice as big as that of an average person and would also make you twice as strong. Think of it as having a personal trainer in your DNA. The best part? You don't need to hit the gym or lift weights to maintain your build. This disorder is caused by a genetic mutation of a particular protein that is supposed to tell your muscles when to stop growing. So when this protein is unavailable, your muscles just keep increasing and expanding like they're on an endless buffet. One of the most famous cases of this syndrome is Leon Hoekstra, aka Mini Hulk. As an infant, Liam had bulky leg muscles, like someone who never skipped a leg day in the womb. He literally came out of the womb jacked. Liam was already walking by the time he turned 6 months old, and by 8 months old, he could literally do pull-ups. By age 3, Liam had 40% muscle mass and could lift 3-kilogram dumbbells. He was stronger than most adults and could move furniture around like they were toys. However, having this condition means you have a supercharged metabolism, so you'll need to eat a lot more than kids your age. It's like having the appetite of a teenage T-Rex. And here's the cherry on top. This condition has no known medical complications, so you get to enjoy all the benefits of being super strong without a single drawback. In other words, people with this condition pretty much won the genetic lottery. Polymelia. If you are a fan of Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants, then you have a good idea of what an octopus looks like, which is essentially what the condition called polymelia would turn you into. A living, breathing human octopus, minus the ability to breathe underwater. Instead of tentacles, you'll be born with an extra arm, leg, fingers, or toes. So basically, while everybody else is rocking the standard 2 arms, you might be flaunting 3 or even 4. Just imagine the power you'd wield at a basketball game with 4 arms and legs. However, before you get too excited about your potential superpowers, keep in mind that these extra limbs could be shrunken, deformed, and could pop up anywhere on your body. Sometimes they may be fully normal sized, but do not function as well as the regular limbs. Now, the cause of this abnormal growth of limbs is widely unknown and extremely rare. In fact, it's estimated to occur in less than 1 in 1 million births each year. Urbach-Weitz disease. So, you go to the amusement park with a group of friends, and there's this particular roller coaster ride that everyone is terrified of. I mean, they're looking at it like it's the final destination in a horror movie game. But you, being the daredevil you are, pay for your tickets and get on board. As the ride starts, your friends are literally screaming their lungs out. Some are even fainting mid-ride, making it look like a scene straight out of a disaster movie. But there you are, cool as a cucumber, calmly playing a crossword puzzle as if you're lying in bed and not sitting on a scary high-speed ride hundreds of meters above the ground. And honestly, you don't even understand why everyone is acting like they're on a one-way trip to Terror Town. And it's not just the roller coasters. You're not fazed by spiders, paper cuts, or even the idea of a snake coming out of your toilet. While your friends think you're just the ultimate badass, the reality is that you have a condition known as Urbach-Weitz disease, an extremely rare genetic disease that makes you fearless. This happens when your amygdala, your brain's fear center, shrinks or hardens. Well, as cool as it might sound not to be afraid of anything, this disorder can actually cause you more harm than good because fear is necessary for survival. Hyperthymesia. Super memory syndrome. It's practically impossible for you to remember what you did when you were in your mother's womb or even when you were just 1 month old. Well, for you, it is, but for someone with hyperthymesia, that's as simple as reciting A, B, and C. This disorder practically turns you into a super memory storage that can remember every detail of your life in 4K Ultra HD. It's like your brain has a save all button permanently pressed. Every day of your life would be accounted for in great detail, and your memory would be as clear and vivid as if it had just happened. You'll be able to recall the exact date, time, and minute of everything that happened in your life without even trying. And the crazy part is, you don't just remember the things that happened to you directly. You can also recall every single thing you see or hear. So while someone else is trying to remember what they had for lunch on Tuesday, you, with your super memory, would be able to recite the entire menu from your high school cafeteria, completely with the date for each food, the waiter's name, and the color of napkin and trays. Talk about a human encyclopedia. Savant syndrome. So you visited your new friend from school to play some video game. However, once you get to his house, he decides to show you around, and when you enter the garage, you notice the dusty old piano that's just been sitting there. Curiously, you wander over and hesitantly press a key. Suddenly, it's like a switch flips in your brain. You sit down and start playing a complex piece of classical music, nailing every single note as if you were Mozart himself. Everyone's jaw hits the floor, including your own, because you've never had a piano lesson in your life. In fact, you struggle to tie your shoelaces and need help remembering which sock goes on which foot. Well, this is a typical case of savant syndrome, a condition that gives you exceptional skill or ability in one specific area like math, music, art, science, or sports, even though you'll struggle with everyday tasks and social interactions that others find easy. It's as if nature decided to crank the volume of one ability up to 11 while turning everything else down to a whisper. Trichodento osseous syndrome, TDO. Let's say you strictly avoid any situations that cause you to fight because the last time you fought with someone years ago, they literally had to drag him away with half his teeth missing after just one punch. And the other time you mistakenly hit the table and it broke into two pieces like someone who is a black belt holder in Taekwondo. Well, this is because you have a rare genetic condition called trichodento osseous syndrome that gives you bones so hard and dense they could probably break baseball bats and laugh in the face of car crashes. It's like having superhero bones, minus the cape and cool catchphrases. However, TDO doesn't just stop at making your bones super tough, it also gives your teeth, nails, and hair a makeover. First of all, the outer layers of your teeth, the enamels, would stage a rebellion and arrange themselves at odd angles, or sometimes they won't even show up at all. It's like your mouth is hosting its own little dental anarchy. Your nails, on the other hand, would be fragile, and your hair would come out kinky or curly and might be a bit sparse, like your scalp is trying to create a challenging puzzle for your comb. Hypohidrotic ectodermal dysplasia, HED. About 1 in 5,000 to 10,000 newborns are born with this genetic condition, which affects the development of sweat glands, hair, teeth, and skin. It's like your body hit the snooze button when it was time to develop some key features. If you have hypohidrotic ectodermal dysplasia, your sweat glands would either be MIA or seriously slacking off like your body's cooling system forgot to show up for work. Since your sweat glands are barely doing their job, your skin becomes so dry and thin, making it prone to rashes. Your hair isn't left out too, as it might grow sparsely, making you look like someone with a bad haircut, but forever. In some cases, you might not even have any hair at all, just like Mr. Clean. But on the flip side, you'll develop a natural tolerance to heat, making you less likely to suffer from heat exhaustion or dehydration. It's like being a desert superhero who can handle extreme heat with ease. You'd also have a higher pain tolerance than the average man. And although this doesn't automatically make you Superman, you'll still be able to handle discomfort and minor injuries better than most. Although this condition has no cure, the symptoms can be effectively managed with various treatment approaches to help you lead a healthy life like any normal adult.